just seems weird, right? Okay, let's
Tell
see.
if it seems weird.
Let's see.
My breath.
Wait, hold on. Stop. Stop. Please stop. Okay. The reason I'm on, you're trying to sleep. I want to tell my COVID story. Should I tell my COVID story?
I mean, it's your YouTube channel.
You had COVID? What?
You did not?
This is news? Is this news to you?
When?
Do you remember when I was sick?
And she couldn't really go anywhere because she was sick.
Do you remember? Yeah, I ended up finding out that I had COVID. I didn't tell you that? You never knew. All right. So I wanted to tell my COVID story. I've been wanting to tell this story for quite some time.
Sorry.
But I've just been busy, so I haven't been able to tell it. Hi, Kim.
Yeah, he was cute.
Obviously, we haven't done this in a long time because we're all like, what do we do?
Is that our principal?
No.
Wait, how many people are watching?
Okay, can you stop?
How many people are watching?
7.
7.
Like the video. Like the video.
So, I got COVID back in September. And like I said, I've been wanting to tell the story, but I just have not had an opportunity to do it. And I wanted to tell it, like right after it happened, because I wanted everything to be really fresh in my mind. But it's been a little while. I got, it was back in September. I need you guys to stop, please. There's all this stuff going on behind me.
He's kicking.
Stop it, Brayden. I think it's really important to share. I think that everybody who's had COVID really should share their story because as I'm finding out, everybody has different symptoms and, just different stuff happening. I think that I haven't heard too many people who have had some of the symptoms that I had.
I'm out.
Thank you. And so I wanted to share that, but it was in September. It was actually September 1st that I started feeling sick. Let's see. I'm trying to think of I think it was a Wednesday was my very first symptom that I had. And it was a really strange symptom. I'm just going to tell you guys everything. So if you hear me say diarrhea and, like all of it, I'm just going to tell you guys what it is. I had my very first symptom. It was the strangest thing. I was out in my backyard and I was cleaning up back there. And I felt like a really weird, just like wave go through my body where I felt kind of weak. And then it just kind of like went through my body and then it was gone. But it did make me kind of take notice. I was like, whoa, that was kind of weird. Like, what was that? And then I felt some gurgling in my stomach. Like I've never really had like issues with my gut, and my gut was just bubbling and talking. It was like in there, like it was insane. It was so. I went to sleep. There was like my gut was gurgling, and yeah, and okay, stop, please. You're making me lose my train of thought, and I'm trying to tell him something. I have one son behind me. I can't. Brayden, please let me tell a story. I think it's important to tell. So can you stop?
I'm trying to get Avery to come over here.
So go, please go. I'm gonna count to 3. Thank you. Shut my door. So I had felt like my gut was kind of bubbling and just felt weird, and then it just was like okay. So I went to sleep that night. It was Wednesday night, and my gut started gurgling so much that it woke me up. So I was just like, wow, it didn't hurt. It wasn't like, I wasn't in pain or anything. It just felt like, my gut was gurgling. So I got up, I took a bunch of probiotics, went back to sleep, woke up in the morning, was okay, didn't feel sick at all. Had the whole day where my stomach was a little bit like gurgling during the day, and then it would go away, and then it would gurgle, and then it would go away. And went to bed, got up the next day, felt okay. A little bit of the same, gurgling here and there. Um, then Saturday, my kids had something for basketball, and I got up and I felt a little bit weak. And I just thought, like, I do so much with these kids and work and, just school, sports, work, that sometimes I'm just exhausted.
Oh,
And
yeah,
so I
we
thought
got
that that's what it
January.
was. But so I got up, got ready, took the kids to their basketball camp. Felt just a little bit like tired when I was there. At the end of the day, I was feeling a little bit more weak. Just like thought I was exhausted because I'd been doing so much. Came home, laid down, rested, got up the next morning because the camp was a 2-day camp. So we're on Sunday now. And felt weak, but not too bad, just weak. Then went to the basketball camp, was there all day. Felt a little bit crummy, but I thought, I hadn't been sick in like 5 years, like maybe even longer than that. I hadn't been sick in quite a while. And, not like sick. So I thought, okay, I'm due for a cold or something, like I'm probably just feeling that. Um, was leaving the basketball camp, and I was walking to my car, and it just kind of like hit me a little harder, and I just felt like really weak. Like I remember telling myself, like, okay, the car's right there. You can take a couple more steps. You're going to be fine. It's okay. Like just keep going. Get in the car, drive home, get into bed right away. And I didn't really feel tired. I just felt weak. So I got in bed, laid down, just hung out, watched TV, did my normal stuff, but just not feeling so great, but not horrible. Monday rolls around, and I'm like, whoa, get up out of bed, and my body feels really weak. I'm not in pain. I don't feel like I felt like if I was laying down, I felt fine. Like I didn't feel like, really sick or anything. Like my brain was telling me, you're fine, get up, go do stuff, you're fine. And then I would go to get up, and my body was like drained of all energy. Like my body just felt weak. So, I just, took it easy. I didn't go into work, dropped the kids off at school, didn't realize, like that I was sick like that. Stayed in bed. My boss was telling me, do you think you have COVID? Do you think you should go and get tested? And I was like, no, I'm fine. I think I just have a cold. I haven't been sick in a long time. And, I was hearing like all of these symptoms, like, body aches for COVID, body aches, and, all of these like really severe things. So I thought, there's no way that that's what this is. So it wasn't until I missed an entire week of work. Never, the entire time, I never felt really, I didn't get the body aches. I didn't get like severely ill like that. I think it was the following weekend. I thought I would start going through, and this is why I wanted to tell a story sooner, because I knew I'd forget things. But I went through phases. So like the first phase, like Monday, Tuesday, I had a sore throat. And then the sore throat went away, and then I got a stuffy nose. So it was like more like cold type symptoms, but my body was just really weak. So that was kind of the difference between, like a regular cold and COVID, the COVID that I had. My body's really weak, but I was feeling like these cold symptoms. So I think it was about the next Saturday. So I went through a whole week where I was like going through sore throat, then stuffy nose, and I hate stuffy nose. So I was like doing Afrin like all day, every day, because I hate not being able to breathe. So my nose was like toast. It was done. But I started to feel a little bit better like that Saturday. So I'd been through one weekend and 1 week, and now we were on the next weekend. And I started to feel a little bit better on Saturday. And I sat here in my room and I make these bracelets. So I was sitting here, I was making bracelets, and then all of a sudden I felt this really weird wave again go, like it just felt like a wave that went through my body. And like I got goosebumps. And then all of a sudden it was like my stomach started gurgling and I was running to the bathroom and it was diarrhea for, I want, like, it was like my body was trying to purge. It was so bad. But I wasn't feeling like super, super sick. It was just like this wave went through me, got goosebumps, ran to the bathroom, diarrhea so bad, like my body's just trying to get something out. Finished that and then started to feel a little bit better. So now we're at Sunday, feeling a little bit better, getting around, doing stuff around the house now. Still at the end of the day, feeling pretty weak. I would start off okay in the morning, and then by the evening time, I was like done. Like I remember on several occasions telling myself, like, you can take one more step to get to the bed. You can take one more step. You're going to be fine. So again, Monday rolls around and my boss, I tell my boss, I'm not coming in. I'm still not feeling well. I need to rest. And he's like, "Are you sure you don't have COVID?" I'm like, "No, I'm fine. Like I've just been like a cold or something like that." So, Monday, by Tuesday, I'm still, my stuffy nose is still kind of, there. And so I'm still using the Afrin. And I noticed like Tuesday, it was probably, later in the evening that there was something. Oh, I put Vicks. I had gone to put Vicks on my nose because I was tired of the Afrin. My nose felt like dry inside. So I didn't smell it. And so, what?
Where's your keys?
In my purse, wherever my purse is. So I was like, wait a minute, I can't smell this. So I like get up and I run over to my laundry room and I like open a bottle of bleach and I'm like, nope, I can't smell it. And then I just noticed that my taste was off. It wasn't that I couldn't taste, it was just kind of off. So I went to sleep that night. Woke up in the morning, right away, try to smell something because I'm like, was it just the Afrin or was, what is it? Is it COVID? What's going on? So by the next morning, I was starting to feel better. I mean, like I could smell. I don't think it wasn't completely normal, but I still didn't have reason to really think that I had COVID. I really just thought that I had some kind of cold, and that was just like a little bit worse than normal. I was starting to get, I could breathe. I wasn't so stuffy anymore. It was like, as one thing would get better, then like something else would start, and then it would get better, and then something else would kind of start and get better. So I ended up going into work on Thursday, and then Friday, I started having trouble breathing. And I started off in the morning where I just felt like a little bit of shortness of breath. And then by the end of the day, I was like a little more short of breath. And so I remember laying in my bed and thinking to myself, I feel really short of breath. Should I go and get this checked out? Should I stay here in bed? Like, my kids were already asleep. I was in bed. I was laying in bed and, I felt scared. I started to kind of panic a little bit because of all the things that, we've heard. And so I text my son, my older son, and I said, I don't know what I should do. I don't know if I should go to the hospital or if I should just wait it out or what I should do, but I'm having a really hard time breathing. It literally felt like there were rubber bands wrapped around my lungs, and it was like I just couldn't breathe right. So he says, if you think you should go to the hospital, then you should go. And I just kind of laid there, and these are kind of the thoughts that went through my head were like, if I go, then when the kids wake up and I'm not here, they're going to be scared. And what happens if they give me a treatment that I don't react well to? What if something happens to me? Like, I don't know. It was just all these like single mom, I guess, thoughts when you have your children here and you don't, I don't know. There was just a lot of scary thoughts, I guess, that went around in my head. So I ended up just staying, home. And I woke up in the morning, still was not being able to breathe very well. It wasn't, I would say, like, during the day, like with all illness, it was not as bad than it would get like towards the evening, like after your body's like tired. Um, but I ended up contacting, Saturday. I woke up Saturday and I thought to myself, I'm going to go and take a COVID test. So I got on one of the urgent care sites and, made an appointment to go in, and I went in for a test, rapid test. And it's the first time, that I had ever tested for COVID, because I was just like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing this. So I convinced myself. I went in, got swabbed, got rapid results, and it was negative. So I was like, phew, okay, well, at least it's not that. Whatever this new kid on the block doesn't feel very good, but at least it's not that. So I went another maybe 2 weeks where I was just having a really rough time breathing, but I was doing everything I was supposed to be doing, like all my normal mom and go to work and all that kind of stuff. And finally I ended up calling, my doctor saying like, hey, I still just don't feel right. I didn't feel completely, myself again. I don't feel like I got over it, like a common cold or like the flu or something like that, where you just kind of, you get sick and then you start to feel better. This wasn't like that. It was like you didn't feel well. You go through different phases of not feeling well. You think you're getting better and then you're not getting better. And then your body just takes a really, really long time to kind of recover from it. So 2 weeks later, still having trouble breathing, calling the doctor, asking, like maybe I have something else, like what can we do? And she says, I'm not really convinced that you didn't have COVID. So I would like to send you for an antibodies test. So I went in for the antibodies test that Friday, and Monday I got the results, and it was like very high antibodies. So since I hadn't been sick before that, she's like, it's probably pretty safe to say that, you just went through COVID. So I know that that was in September, at least a good 3 weeks before I started feeling a little bit better. Breathing was still not cool for like the entire month. Then when I thought I was getting better, when my breathing was starting to feel better, I felt like I relapsed. And so I went into the doctor again, and I was like, I don't feel good. My body feels just the way that it did earlier on in COVID, where my body felt really weak, and I just felt like my lungs were tight, like I couldn't breathe well. And she's like, oh no, like that can't happen. You can't get COVID back to back like that after you've had it once. You can't get it again for, whatever, 3 months or something like that. I'm like thinking to myself, okay, because you guys don't know shit about COVID right now. So we're all learning, and it's very possible. But I went another 2 weeks. So I had like a 2 week break where I felt better. And I finally felt like, okay, I feel myself again. And then I felt that relapse. And then I went another 2 weeks where I didn't feel well. Like I wasn't as bad as I was the first time, but I just didn't feel myself. And my breathing was really hard to breathe. We were doing some moving around, like in our office furniture and stuff. And so I was trying to help, and I noticed real quick, like that I really couldn't do a lot of helping when it came to that, because I just didn't have it in me. I didn't have the strength. My body was not normal. And so I went like another 2 weeks or so where I felt fine. I felt okay. And then it happened again. I wouldn't say like a complete relapse, but I started to feel like this dry itch like go up my throat. And when I would get that dry itch, I couldn't help but cough. And it was like not a normal kind of cough. It's weird. It would like make my eyes water, and like my eyes would be tearing, and like it was weird. And so I went through that for like a week. And then, but my breathing was okay. Like I haven't had any trouble breathing since, that I want to say like October. So I've been better with that. But I just noticed that every once in a while, even to now, um, I go through little like weird phases where my stomach will be gurgling, and it's never done that before until I got COVID. So it's like whatever COVID is, whatever that virus is, I feel like is still in my body doing active damage. Or else I don't think my body would still be reacting. Like it's like intermittent. Is that how you'd say it? Like where it's happening and then it's not, and then it's happening and then it's not. So really strange. Just everybody has had such a different experience with it. I had, two other friends that had COVID really similar to, the same time that I did. And my son had some a little girl in his class that her father had gotten COVID at the same time I did. We were both sick at the same time. He ended up going to the hospital, and he didn't come home. He passed away. It was devastating. I think just realizing how, I guess you just don't think like this isn't going to happen to me. I'm really healthy. I have a healthy lifestyle, like everything's fine. I'm great. But you just don't have any control once this is going through your body. So my son came home and told me about the little girl's father, and I just dropped to my knees. I was in tears. I was just like, could have been me. It's really sad that it had to be anyone, but it it's it was very eye-opening. It made me really stop and think a little bit, more about my life, and life in general. And I I'm not really I was, there were times through COVID that I was scared, and that I thought to myself, like, what's going to happen here? I don't know what's going to happen here. That was scary. But it ended up, I'm still here. The kids are here. I feel good now. And yeah, that's it. I just wanted to share that with everybody, because I think the more that we share what our symptoms are, and what we did during this period of time maybe can help others. But I took lots of vitamin C, lots of vitamin D. I did zinc. I did colloidal silver. I had quercetin, because that helps for the other vitamins to penetrate the cells, and do a little bit more work there. So I didn't really have any other help besides, oh, actually I did. With the breathing, I had contacted a friend of mine who does a lot of holistic type of medications. And I took OSHA root. I chewed OSHA root, which really helped my lungs to open up. It was like almost instant. When you have the OSHA root, you chew it, and then you like kind of put it, like if you do chew or something like that, and you put it between your lip and your gum. That's where you would hold the OSHA root, and as soon as it would get into your body, like I could just feel my lungs opening up, and it was such a great relief. I was so happy to have had that. I also did the black oxygen water, which was really great. I felt like it really helped me a lot. And then afterwards, the girl that I went to for the botanicals did like a liver cleanse for me. And so, excuse me. So I did that as well. So really just got through it with lots of vitamin C. I think I was probably taking about 4,000 milligrams of vitamin C a day. I was taking about 5,000 IUs of vitamin D. I think it was like the 50 milligrams of zinc, and I did the liquid, so I would put it into my water, and I did that. What else did I see? The Quercetin. I don't remember what the dosage on that was. And anyways, that's what kind of got me through it. But if you have had COVID, I think it's important that you consider, sharing your story so that other people know kind of what to expect. Hopefully, we're at a point where we're kind of getting through this. I hear that we're at the endemic, where they're trying, they're moving towards ending the pandemic, which is great. Um, that's it. That's all I wanted to share. But I went through most of the time. Oh, Avery, my 9-year-old son, got it first. He's the one who got it first, and he did, like, he was sick for like a day and a half, a little bit of a sore throat, and then he was like completely through it. Like, he was fine. So like I said, we didn't even realize, like that, what was going on. But anyways, that's it. That's all I have about COVID. And I was just going to share one more thing. But I was out in my backyard a little while ago, and I was cleaning up outside, and I could hear the witnesses. I didn't realize I had witnesses, like catty corner across from my yard, in the neighborhood next to me, and they were doing baptism in their swimming pool. So I don't know, it just seemed, I guess that makes sense, because they're not going to the Kingdom Hall anymore. So now they're baptizing people in other people's backyards. Have you guys heard of that? I don't know. Weird. Anyways. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening to my story, and hopefully we'll chat again soon. Bye. Let's see if I can remember how to get out of here.